What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Star Bazaar and to another discussion video for Star Wars Battlefront 2. Today, I'm presenting a question that I think a lot of us actually had after the most recent roadmap update, and that is, when are Ahsoka and Asajj Ventress coming to Battlefront 2, if at all? If you guys are new here at the Star Bazaar, welcome. I'm glad you found your new favorite Battlefront 2 channel. We do discussion pieces like this, tips and tricks, news updates, pretty much anything Battlefront 2, so if you like what you see, consider subscribing and joining us for more Battlefront 2 content. Also, if you like today's discussion, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, as it does really help boost the video in YouTube. But with that, let's talk about this stuff. I think a lot of us were kind of surprised by the roadmap update that we got. Yes, it was kind of small, we only had 3 things on there. The Clone Wars quests coming in July, the non-PvP experience is coming in August, and then Felucia, which is just slated for fall. While a lot of these things do sound pretty cool, I think some of us in the community were kind of expecting, or at least hoping to see some sign of Asajj Ventress or Ahsoka in the updated roadmap. There's no announcement of any new heroes. In fact, the team has said that heroes are not a focus right now, and there's nothing on the roadmap that even hints towards Ahsoka or Asajj Ventress, so that leaves us wondering, just when are we getting them in Battlefront 2? Are we even going to get them? A while back, known leaker some_info actually put out that Ahsoka and Ventress had been under development for several months at that point. So that got the community pretty hyped that, yeah, Ahsoka and Ventress are being worked on, we're gonna get them in Battlefront 2. Unfortunately, that was a couple months ago, and we haven't heard anything since then. And of course, that was just a leak. That wasn't even an official statement from anybody at DICE. So we're pretty much back to square one in terms of when to expect Ahsoka and Ventress. We have absolutely zero information. We don't even know if they're actually being worked on. We're only taking some info's word here. Now, personally, I do believe that we will see Ahsoka and Ventress in Battlefront 2 at some point. In fact, I think they will come in this content cycle that was announced on the updated roadmap. And if you want my humble opinion, I think Ahsoka will probably drop alongside Felucia. The reason I say that is because when Geonosis got dropped, Obi-Wan Kenobi dropped alongside it, with General Grievous having been released the month before. This sets up a bit of a standard, where it's definitely plausible that DICE can release both a map and a hero in the same update. That was demonstrated last November with Geonosis and Obi-Wan Kenobi. If we assume that Felucia will drop either in September or October, which would be almost a year exactly since the Geonosis release, then I think that would be a really good time to drop a hero alongside with it, since the last hero release we had was Anakin back in February. Felucia would be coming out a good 7 or 8 months after that, so I think a hero release would be called for at that point in time. Not to mention, after the premiere of the trailer for the 7th season of the Clone Wars animated series, Dennis Bronville, the lead design director on Battlefront 2, tweeted out and semi-jokingly said, "We've got more work to do," or something along those lines, which indicated that, yeah, they saw the trailer, and they know that we want things in Battlefront 2 from the Clone Wars animated series, Ahsoka and Ventress included. Here's the thing though, it's the Clone Wars animated show itself that makes me believe we will indeed be getting Ahsoka alongside Felucia. If you follow the show, one of the earlier episodes in Season 1 actually features Ahsoka fighting on Felucia. It's the first battle of Felucia during the Clone Wars, in fact. Little does Ahsoka know that her and her clone legion are about to be overrun by droids, but she's doing a good job of fighting them off before Obi-Wan and Anakin show up to save her. She was a part of a battle on Felucia. Not just once though, but twice. She was in the first battle of Felucia and the second. The second one was actually featured in the season finale of Season 3 of the Clone Wars, where Ahsoka got kidnapped by some Trandoshan hunters and was used as prey during one of their ritualistic hunts. Ahsoka actually meets Chewbacca here on Trandoshan during this episode, which was kind of cool. It was a blending of 2 eras, but nonetheless, all this demonstrates is that Ahsoka has history with the planet Felucia, and in my opinion, that increases the likelihood of her dropping alongside the planet this fall. Now, once again, we don't have confirmation that Ahsoka or Ventress are even being worked on at all, so just take this as a prediction, and nothing more. Ventress, on the other hand, is a little bit harder to place. They could do the same thing they did with Obi-Wan and Geonosis, where they released his rival, General Grievous, into the game the month before, so that both of them could fight on Geonosis when Obi-Wan dropped. We could see something similar with Asajj Ventress, who could drop in either August or September, the month before Felucia, and that way, when Felucia comes around, both Ahsoka and Ventress would be in the game, and they'd be able to fight each other on the new planet. Or, absolute best case scenario, DICE learned from the fact that the community wasn't too fond of having one hero release every single month, making the sides uneven, and maybe they could just go all out with the Felucia release and drop both Ahsoka and Ventress alongside the new planet. That is absolute best case scenario and highly unlikely if you ask me. That just seems like too big of a content release based on the releases that we've got so far, but who knows, they might surprise us. I'm fairly certain that DICE left the rest of the year blank on the roadmap because they're going to fill that space out with Episode 9 content. Since Felucia is only going up into the fall, the winter is probably reserved for Episode 9. This means that if we are getting Ahsoka and Ventress at some point in 2019, they have to arrive during this content cycle that is outlined on the current roadmap. If they're not coming during this content cycle, then they're going to have to come in 2020, after Episode 9 content. Any Episode 9 content that we get in Battlefront 2 is going to be a contractual obligation between Disney, Lucasfilm, and DICE. Basically what that means is that DICE is going to have to put that content in the game no matter what, even if they're working on other things. The Episode 9 content will have to take priority. Which is why, if they want to get Ahsoka and Ventress in the game before then, it's gotta take place during this content cycle. Otherwise, our next heroes are probably going to be Poe Dameron and General Hux, or some other villain who's going to make themselves known in Episode 9. Personally, I want my girls. I need Ahsoka and Ventress in Battlefront 2, and I'm fairly certain that I'm not the only one who shares that sentiment. But what do you think, guys? Do you think that we will get Ahsoka and Asajj Ventress at some point in Battlefront 2? And if so, when do you think they will drop? Do you think the Felucia release sounds likely, or do you think they'll drop them in a separate update after or before Felucia? Let's talk about it down in the comments below. If you guys like the content today, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button on the video, but that's going to do it for this Star Wars Battlefront 2 discussion. I appreciate you all stopping by the bazaar. This has been your boy, Turkish Delight, and I'll see you all out on the battlefront. Peace.